So, if I hear you right, it's less about when and more about whether the conditions are in place. That
Right.
shifts this question entirely.
Yeah, exactly. You're not asking, is it time? You're asking, is the role ready? And can we?
Today, we're talking about something that almost every growing company gets wrong at some point: hiring leaders. I've seen this from both sides. Some founders hire too early and end up with overhead they can't sustain. Others wait so long that they become the bottleneck themselves. And by the time they realize it, the damage is already done. So the big question is, when is the right time to bring in leadership? Let's start simple. Why is this such a tricky decision for founders? Because on the surface, it seems straightforward. You're growing, you need to hire someone to lead a team. What's so hard about that?
Well, because it looks like a people decision, but it's actually a structural decision. Most founders think, I need someone strong who takes things off my plate. But if the structure underneath is unclear, that person cannot succeed, no matter how good they are. So the real problem is not timing alone, it's readiness.
That's a good point. And I think a lot of founders don't even realize they're not ready. They feel the pain, too much on their plate, things falling through the cracks, and they instinctively reach for a hire to fix it. It feels like the logical next step.
Exactly. The discomfort here is real, but a hire is not the diagnosis, it's a tool. And if you use it at the wrong moment, you're adding cost and complexity without solving the underlying problem.
So, one of the things I love working with you, let's get specific. What does hiring too early actually look like?
Well, too early means you hire a leader before the system exists that would allow them to lead. Typical signs: roles are unclear, processes are not defined, decision rights are not explicit, especially not documented, so you don't know whom to look for. So the new leader spends most of their time figuring things out instead of actually leading. That's a problem.
Yeah. And I imagine that it's incredibly frustrating for that person. They
Yeah.
were hired to lead, but they spend the first 6 months trying to understand what they're even allowed to decide.
Yeah, the expectations are totally unclear. And then the founder said, this person is not strong enough. But in reality, the system is missing. It's not a talent problem, it's a structural one.
But I think there's another dimension here that gets overlooked. It's not just about structure, it's also about money. I've seen companies hire leaders because the founder felt ready organizationally, but the business model wasn't stable enough yet to actually finance that growth. Suddenly, you have a leadership layer that the cash flow simply can't support.
That's a really important point, and it's one I see regularly, especially in owner managed small and medium sized companies that want to grow organically out of their own cash flow. The logic then often goes, we are growing, so we need more structure, so we need more leaders. But the growth isn't yet stable enough to carry that cost. So the business model is still being proven. And then the additional overhead creates pressure that the company isn't ready to absorb.
So it's almost like they're building the second floor before the foundation is solid, right?
Exactly. What makes it tricky is that the decision feels responsible in the moment. You're investing in the future, but if the revenue base isn't there yet, you're effectively betting on growth that hasn't materialized. And that's critical.
Is this true across the board? Because I'm thinking of startups that hire aggressively from day one, often before they're anywhere near profitable.
Well, that's a fair distinction. What I said for VC based startups, that's not true. The logic there is different. They have external capital specifically to fund growth ahead of revenue. Hiring leaders early can be the right move when someone else is financing the build out. But for a founder who's growing organically, that's something different. No outside investors financing everything from operations or out of his own pocket. That luxury doesn't exist then. Every hire has to be covered by what the business actually earns. And the leadership hire is expensive, not just in salary, but in the time it takes before that person generates any return.
So, for bootstrap companies, financial readiness is just as important as structural readiness. You need both, right?
Right. You're absolutely right. And founders often only check one of the two.
Yeah, I remember that from the startup days of running my company. Financially, I was strong. Structurally, I was weak. And ultimately, it didn't work out. So, you need both.
Usually, it's one of the two things. Either the leader becomes an expensive coordinator without real authority, so lots of meetings, little impacts, or the founder jumps back in and starts making decisions again. Both outcomes reinforce the same pattern: dependency on the founder, which is exactly what they were trying to escape. Grab a copy of my free blueprint for one-on-ones at fipodcast.vip/hshp. Again, that is fipodcast.vip/hshp.
Right. And at that point, you've also potentially damaged your relationship with that leader. They
Right.
feel undermined. The founder feels let down. It becomes a trust problem on top of a structural one. And if the financial pressure is also building, that dynamic gets very uncomfortable very quickly. Let's flip this around. What does the opposite look like? Hiring too late.
Well, too late means the company already needs leadership, but the founder is still trying to handle everything. The signs are pretty clear. Too many decisions flow back to the founder, teams wait instead of acting, and every escalation lands on the same desk. At that stage, not hiring leadership is actively slowing the organization down.
I think this is actually the more common trap, at least in the companies I've worked with. Founders are often reluctant to hand over responsibility. I know I was. Sometimes because they don't trust others to do it well enough, sometimes because leading is genuinely what they enjoy most.
I think you're right. That's true. If the business model is already stable and it's profitable, two double digits EBIT, then this behavior, not hiring someone, creates a particular problem. The founder often doesn't feel like a bottleneck from the inside. They feel productive. They're double-digit EBIT. They are doing a lot, but the organization around them has quietly stopped developing because everything still runs through one person. That's critical.
So founders are caught between two risks. How should they actually think about timing? Is there a rule of thumb that works?
The honest answer: stop thinking in terms of time and start thinking in terms of readiness. And readiness has two components. Structural readiness: is there a clear role with defined responsibilities and decision rights? That's something the owner has to do, has to write down, to think about. And the other one is financial readiness. Can the business actually sustain this hire from its own operations? Or are you relying on growth that hasn't arrived yet? If either answer is no, hiring will not solve the problem.
So if I hear you right, it's less about when and more about whether the conditions are in place. That shifts this question entirely.
Yeah, exactly. You're not asking, is it time? You're asking, is the role ready? And can we afford it sustainably? Those are very different questions.
So that means hiring is not actually the first step.
No, the sequence matters. First, define the role, then define the decisions this person owns, then define the interfaces, how they connect to the rest of the organization, and run the numbers on whether the current revenue base can carry it. Only then does it make sense to hire.
And I think I'll add something. Writing that down forces you to think through the things you've probably been carrying in your head for years.
Yeah.
A lot of founders discover when they try to write the role description that they don't actually know what they want this person to do. That's useful information before you start the search.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what's the most common mistake you see when founders hire their first leader?
They expect the person to figure it out. That sounds reasonable. You want someone who's autonomous, who takes initiative, but it's actually an unrealistic expectation. Even strong leaders need a system in which they can operate. Without that, they either fail or start building their own system, which often creates even more inconsistency. And building this system, that's the task of the owner.
Yeah. And building for the hire, building their own system is not necessarily a bad instinct on their part. They're just trying to make things work.
Absolutely, you're right.
But it can mean 5 different people building 5 different systems, and suddenly coordination becomes a full-time job.
You don't want a company with 5 or more different systems inside. That doesn't make sense.
No, you get a mess then. So when a leadership hire fails, what do founders typically take away from that?
Well, if it fails, the blame is on the person. The conclusion is almost always, we just need someone better. But often the real issue is unclear expectations or missing structures, undefined authority, or simply that the company wasn't in a financial position to support the role properly. So they repeat the same mistake with the next hire, better candidate, some broken environment.
Yeah. And that ends up being a costly loop, and it reinforces a belief that good leaders are just rare, when actually the problem might be entirely within the founder's control.
Correct.
So is there a simple test a founder can apply before pulling the trigger on a leadership hire?
Well, I would say there are 2 tests. The structure one, if this person makes a decision tomorrow, do I know exactly which decisions they are allowed to make without me? And if the answer is unclear, you're not ready structurally. And the financial question would be, if this person is still in the role 2 years from now and growth comes in slower than expected, can we still afford them? If that answer makes you uncomfortable, you're not ready financially either.
Yeah, I like that. 2 very honest questions, but you got to answer them honestly to yourself
Correct.
and clearly before you can move forward. So what's the core message today that you'd want a founder to walk away with?
Hiring leaders is not about filling a gap. It's about creating a role that can carry responsibility independently and making sure the company has both the structure, clarity, and the financial stability to support that role. If both conditions are met, a good leader will perform. If either is missing, even a great leader will struggle.
I think that's worth repeating. A great leader will struggle. So this isn't about finding someone tough enough to survive the chaos or the cash pressure. The conditions are actually the problem, right?
Right.
So let me kind of wrap this up here a little bit today. If you take one thing away from this episode, hiring leaders does not create structure, and it does not create financial stability either. Both have to be in place first. Get that backwards, and the timing won't save you regardless of how good the person is. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Excellent. See you there, Brian. Thanks. Subscribe for free today at fipodcast.vip/xbzv and join thousands of leaders receiving exclusive and actionable leadership insights you won't find anywhere else. Again, that is fipodcast.vip/xbzv.